Fargo gives
That was a pleasant surprise.
Guaranteed. It may vary between.
68, you're attached. Rescue 892. Rescue 892, sick person, 3333 South Manning Avenue.
19L60, are you?
Southbound Laurel Canyon approaching Paxton, and controls in my favor simulcast that on Foothill base.
Southbound Laurel Canyon approaching Paxton.
Engine 27, rescue 35.
Bravo, Jensen, 59X26X26, ADW suspect there now, 1284 Victory, 1284 Victory at the Starbucks, heading to 2416, running 1523.
98 ambulance battery 22210 Victory Boulevard, Apartment D's and David 320. Owner comments code 2 incident 2444 NRD 2155. X-ray system code 3 from Woodset. Correction return, you reconnect to 1284 Victory. 19L60, roger.
Metro from Rescue 82, you can show us available in our first in. Attaches with engine 27. 5.
Choose information on a reckless driver in the area of Parthenia and Haskell. Last seen westbound vehicle is a black Mazda 2020 with front TC damage. Attempting to hit passing vehicles and driving recklessly, swerving in out of lanes. Information incident 2454-1798. The call is northbound San Fernando from Pax. 60, are you authorizing spike strips? Westbound 118 freeway from San Fernando Road.
You're attached. Rescue
2444.
Metro, rescue 209 intersection at 9th and Petro. We don't find anybody waving us down or match the description. Do you have anything further? Rescue 209, we'll try to call back.
Vehicles in the number 2 lane, westbound 118 freeway approaching the 5 split.
Traffic looks like he wants to get back onto the freeway, and he's going to accomplish it right there. Now, LAPD, they're trying
westbound 118 freeway, number 3 lane.
in any kind of mean way. There are a lot of cars on the road this afternoon.
We all want more of a good thing. And Miss Moore was no different.
More.
As her name suggested, she loved more.
More.
So when Miss Moore was injured, she called Morgan & Morgan. With more lawyers, more offices, and more than $15 billion recovered, she didn't have to ask for more anymore. When you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Speeds are really starting to pick up. I'd like to show you those speeds. There they are. Sorry about that. And you can see those speeds now, almost 100 miles an hour. It's a Dodge Caravan. And you can see it moving along at quite a good clip.
Vehicles westbound 118 freeway approaching 405 in the carpool lane.
Okay.
Roger.
We had somebody in the studio down there that I was going to be talking with. Sorry about that, but you can see those speeds really moving along out here this afternoon. Again, what is the original want? We're saying we're going to just kind of go with right now a carjacking suspect. Don't know if that's the car that he actually carjacked, or maybe that is just his vehicle. But right now, very, very high speeds. A lot of the folks on the freeway this afternoon not really knowing about what's going on. Very, very high speeds.
Vehicles westbound 118 freeway approaching Haven.
That's going to be behind it, and only thing that is from law enforcement. So, and also in a way, you might think, well, are we in pursuit or are we in tracking? Well, we are kind of in a tracking mode just because of the fact that we do not have any law enforcement on the ground behind it. Now, California Highway Patrol, they are going to be notified of this. They might have a unit on the freeway.
Supervisor from Devonshire, respond. My car is overheating.
It would become a full-fledged pursuit once again. Right now, though, this vehicle moving very, very quickly. LAPD making those calls, telling the ground units how to get in this area or try to get them in this area. That van starting to use all the lanes.
Westbound 118 freeway approaching Balboa, white Dodge Caravan, license 9 David Mary Boy 321, 9 David Mary Boy 32.
I'm not putting anything down on that vehicle, but not known for its high performance tactics. That driver behind the wheel, also I would venture to say, probably not a trained driver. And now we're in that carpool lane going about 100 and something.
Pennsylvania units, cancel your meet the Department of Mental Health forecast 6940 Owens Mount Avenue, cancelled by the Department of Mental Health incident 2428.
65, but if anybody's going 65, they better be in that slow lane. This freeway always has a lot of high-speed traffic, but this afternoon, this caravan moving at 100 miles an hour plus, and you can see it right there, passing all those other vehicles like they're almost like they're standing still. LAPD are the only ones behind it right now, and when I say behind it, I mean above and behind, because it's the helicopter, and they're the only ones there right now. Going to keep an ear on the scanner while I keep you guys updated on where this is going and how this is going, but I'd like to know if they are able to get California Highway Patrol behind it and or possibly another LAPD vehicle.
Now 60 requesting a Devonshire supervisor westbound 118 freeway at Balboa for overheating car.
At least got it out of the triple digits. That's a huge plus.
Go ahead and stack
but apparently this vehicle's still moving along. Whoa, whoa.
2181 match.
That is exactly what we're always worried about.
2428.
I hear you're joining us.
Yes, you heard me there with my whoa. Yeah, Stu, it's been a busy morning for both of us. This is our second pursuit we've been following this morning. So here we go. We're on the 118 freeway.
Exiting westbound 118 freeway at Reseda.
Even on the freeway, going extremely high rate of speed and very, very
2142, that call's been closed down. Pierre had called back.
Because this is the
PD no longer needed.
that was
Vehicles eastbound Rinaldi from
a crash right in Burbank, and this is now a stolen vehicle out of Ventura. Is that right?
You know what, Roxy, if that's the information that our assignment desk is giving you, then this is all going to be starting to make sense, because LAPD very interested in this vehicle. They've been chasing it for quite some time, apparently, and it's been eluding officers. But if this is the one that's involved in
vehicle committed southbound Reseda from Rinaldi.
The Burbank area involving LAPD officers, then that is for sure the reason why they want that suspect in custody. We're getting off the freeway here. You can see it right there. Reseda, this is always very busy. Not a good decision on that driver's part, making that turn going up to the north here. Looks like we're going to be heading towards Rinaldi. But this
vehicle southbound Reseda through San Fernando.
Out here, it looks like we got lucky right now. Seems like there
we got officers in pursuit over here. Southbound Reseda approaching Chatsworth.
Southbound Reseda approaching
Chatsworth. In the vehicle, I've not seen that. But now here we go. See if they will pop up onto the 118 eastbound. Driving in the center lane, in the turn lane, now into oncoming traffic, and then weaving back over into the proper lane, traveling about 84, 85 miles an hour. Again, this is on Reseda Boulevard, it appears, in the Northridge Quarter Ranch area, and again, high rates of speed. We do not see anyone as far as officers immediately behind, so we're not exactly positive where they are, if it's from the air or on the ground as well. But you can see, again, passing different unit with spike strip dangerously in that right lane, and then now having made that turn, off we go down. It looks as if this is going to be Chatsworth Street. So on Chatsworth Street,
Tampa,
and quickly
Chatsworth area with spike strip, Tampa, Corbin area.
Person in the driver's side in that vehicle, so we don't know about passengers in the back, but it does look like as if there's just one person. Now we're driving back in the turn lane again, looking to make a left turn. So again, passing someone on the inside as a left turn, briefly going into oncoming traffic, but then now just right under Air 7 HD and accelerating again. Trying to figure out if this is, so it's Wilbur Avenue, Northridge. But just a few moments ago, back up on the 118 going westbound. So now they're out in Northridge. And again, the reason this van is of utmost interest right now is this was a van that was involved in a chase earlier in the day in Burbank that ended with two officers being injured.
Continuing westbound Devonshire approaching Tampa. It's a white Dodge Caravan, license 9 David Mary Boy 321, 9 David Mary Boy 321.
Not having been seen for a couple of hours, now is back at least being followed from the air
from Devonshire
in surveillance mode. Now you see driving into oncoming traffic here again, making a left turn, just passing over and getting into that oncoming traffic, into that left turn lane. And now we're going to see if we can. I believe this is probably going to be Tampa, as we look and passing somebody there right under Air 7 HD. So now you're hitting a little bit of surface traffic. Here we go again, into the left turn lane, nearly hitting that car. Air 7 getting a bit of a bump there. And now here we go again. So passing a big rig carrying fuel, and back here we go through oncoming traffic back into his lanes. So this is such a high rate of speed. The people that are in oncoming traffic are going to have a hard time reacting as quickly as they want. LAPD has requested a speed strip for this. This is clearly, it's going to be very difficult to get a spike strip under this vehicle going this fast, 80 miles an hour. It looks like on Plummer Street now is what our sky map is saying. So here we go through another intersection against the light, has passed one right in the middle lane. You see that the SUV there to the left had just turned left in front of this vehicle. And so now, 80
westbound north from Tampa.
South north from Tampa.
On side streets, although this, Tampa Avenue is a significant road, so you can get some speed going, but if traffic gets going very quickly, this is going to be a tough spot for this driver. Again, this has been
vehicles westbound north approaching
for a couple of hours, making a right turn now. And there's a little small metro bus. But again, every time this person wants to go is more than willing to go into oncoming traffic. So we've broken into coverage on this because of, a couple of officers who were hurt in Burbank about 2 hours ago with this suspect. So now here in studio as well, because we're breaking in on this coverage
northeast corner, Corbin and North Office gas station.
Suspect who has already, if this is
We're going to go through that parking lot in the northeast corner of the Shell gas station.
This person's
parking lot of the Shell gas station, northeast corner of Corbin and North.
One person who was hit as well.
That is correct. And now we see him turn into, is that a gas station? It appears to be a gas station, and we don't see, now it is emerging. We are waiting to see what he plans to do here. This is unusual behavior. He's been driving so dangerously and erratically and carelessly.
I don't have any black and white in the area, sir. So we are still in traffic mode, but I have nobody here.
Is it possible he's going to try to fill up? I mean, what's putting himself...
of course, if he doesn't know if the helicopters are above, because if they are surveilling him from the police helicopter, LAPD helicopter, they will have officers in that area. He could have just pulled in there to find out if there were ground officers right behind, to see if he would be having an opportunity to ditch and run. But I can't imagine he would be stopping for fuel. It could be a carjacking that's possible. So we're going to see what's happening. Because officers, they're now. So he now knows that they are following him still.
Hey, Roger, sir, if you're available with
I
spikes,
fear that he could grab somebody else and start to take off once again.
All right,
disregard
so now
Palmer.
they're on
Let's go a little farther
tail,
north.
and
Let's head over
the
towards
spike
Devonshire.
strips, so we'll be looking out for that. But, again, 1:30 in the afternoon. This all started a couple of hours ago. During our 11 o'clock newscast, we got word of an accident in Burbank where two North Hollywood police officers were injured in the midst of a pursuit. And there was another car involved that had some damage to it as well. And we were told then that the suspect got away, and as Philip has mentioned, this does appear to be the same suspect.
Set up your spikes, clear that traffic for me, and it's continuing northbound. He's going to be approaching Devonshire here very soon.
Continuing northbound, approaching Devon.
Dangerously, to say the least.
The thing that is most dangerous is when he blows through these, he or she blows through these intersections.
And we're maybe a quarter mile away from Dev.
On
we're going to be in this number one lane northbound
reason to believe that might be happening. Look at it. Now you're in the left turn lane, passing everyone to maintain that speed. Officers know this is a very dangerous pursuit.
Unit 14, man, plan victory at the Oil Local Suspect Flight Santa Cruz, white 40, 50 year shape head, and no shirt, 30 gray pants, attempted to open the doors and drive to Coconut 2509 or the 2141.
It could have been at that accident in Burbank that officers might have run into other car that was damaged, and the person was hurt. This intersection here on the right that you're looking at, that person had to be transported. But there's a spike strip. Did you see the spike strip? So they did throw a spike strip. So we're going to find out very quickly if they were able to hit it. But so this person is dangerous. Clearly, whether they actually physically caused the accident, of the police officer there in Burbank, or just a result of this chase. There was somebody hurt because of this chase, and it does look like that front left tire might be already starting to deflate a little bit. If I'm
Which is great, but we've seen these pursuits in the past that even with 1, 2 spike strips, the driver continues to go, and then we see the rims that we see them driving on the rims, and we see the sparks of flames.
Well, they did get that front left tire,
totally
so
flat,
and the thing is, it's going to make it incredibly difficult
Hey,
for this person to maintain control of the vehicle
at the residence
speeds.
system 2513.
He'll be able to continue to move, but you can't turn, you can't maneuver, and it will be much easier for a pit maneuver because that's going to start to slow everybody. That's going to slow him down. But this is what worries me: is the disregard of the surrounding people with no control of the vehicle or less control of the vehicle. Other people could get hurt the way this person is driving right now.
Northbound Tampa, approaching 118 freeway.
Making a left turn lane, I believe. Is that Tampa? No, I guess
He is on Tampa. He went over into the left turn lane, but then just passed everybody.
Yeah, and this is all happening in Northridge. But again,
if they were effective,
both
tires are now gone. The driver's side tires, front and back, are gone, and he's starting to lose the rubber on the front tire. You can see the smoke coming. And so that shit's going to just shred, and the pieces are going to go all over the place. So here we go, and now you have to wonder if the suspect is armed. He's used his vehicle as a weapon already.
Suspect male, Hispanic, black shirt, white undershirt, black shorts, running northbound on Tampa, approaching north.
Make that right turn, black and white, stop at the gas station.
For officers to be able to get this person,
right turn at the gas station, male and Hispanic, he's got a black shirt, a white undershirt,
and we'll see how long it takes officers to get him. He's just jogging into that
underneath those onions, Chevron gas station. Not pump down, look at those vehicles. Anybody that's pumping gas there perhaps is in those vehicles.
Another carjacking, or again, you mentioned we don't know if he's armed.
Well, now see, he's stopped under there. You can see that person walking away, and they're looking
at
him.
You know what? You just carjacked another victim, stole a victim's vehicle, and that's going to be a looks like a Mercedes or a BMW.
We saw the person jogging away, and we don't know what is going on if he's in somebody else's car.
Checking on a white BMW, southbound Tampa, approaching well.
They're approaching.
Now, who is this car? He has got another car. It appears as if he's got another car, and he almost hit one of the officers again. So that's the thing. You're sitting there filling up your tank, and you have no idea what's just happened. He casually pulls over, and if you noticed, he just jogged into the parking lot and carjacked another person.
He probably was just looking in the other direction, and he jumped into the vehicle.
Southbound Tampa, approaching task.
People have their keys in their car when they're filling up. The car may not be running, or we don't know, but the person might be in the vehicle. It did not look as if he was armed when we saw him jogging over there, but now we have another chase. The Dodge Caravan is damaged because of the
stop strip. 40, I'm
almost
getting off on Tampa now, off the 118.
We have this. Now, the question is, would this car have vision? So there's the possibility that this car is
southbound Tampa, approaching temperature, a white
stolen car
BMW, unable to get the
plate. They may be able to just shut it down. So we'll find out about that here in the next few minutes.
Southbound Tampa through Devonshire.
Did look like
it could be a BMW, but this just shows how desperate he is to get away.
If you still want to remain in tracking, or if you want the officers to re-engage.
But now we see that he is determined to.
Corey, just keep tracking, keep eyes on that.
And the troubling thing, as I look at this, is now he's in a car that's much faster, more maneuverable.
All right, units, we are tracking on this carjacking suspect. It looks like he's headed westbound on Lassen from Tampa.
In a different way.
Westbound Lassen from Tampa.
But this is a chase that started with the Dodge Caravan.
L90 to airship that's been in
Burbank,
is a carjacked suspect, unknown and victims inside.
Another driver that was not involved in this chase,
all right,
except
units,
somehow that person
do me a favor, we got to catch up to this vehicle. We are re-engaging on this
person had to be transported. Now, a couple hours later, this person was found driving the Dodge Caravan.
Units on Tampa.
And now we've got this because the person has carjacked another vehicle. You see the Dodge Caravan there on the right. That's how he was driving earlier. But again, right in the turn lane. In the turn lane, into traffic, driving incredibly recklessly.
And as you were talking, he made a right-hand turn from the far left lane. Very dangerous to the cars in the right
vehicle
next to him, and he just turned right in front of them. Going 70 miles an hour on surface streets right now, like as you said, flying through the intersections. Very dangerous. If you are in this area of Chatsworth,
Vehicle southbound 1 Echo from last.
Street. I
to
hope
West
people
Hospital with
that are watching
RE72.
are staying indoors.
Can you verify how many black and
listening,
white you see?
you know,
And
in
according to
your
the
car.
There we go again.
I do not have any black and white behind us.
Again, going through the intersection
Between
against the
southbound
light.
1
Now
Echo
you have
Group 1.
somebody chasing. Is that? We have
So
another.
southbound 1
So
Echo
we have
Group
a
1.
ground. It does look like that is a police officer there behind. I couldn't really tell. Yes, it is. Okay. So we now have on the ground an officer right behind. So things are now very different for this chase because this person has actually now attacked another person to take
Southbound 1
their
Echo approaching North.
car at a gas station after his Dodge minivan or Dodge Caravan
Looks like Air 10 is relieving us. Air 16 is going to clear, and Air 10 is
traveling on
briefing
Winnetka
out.
Avenue in Chatsworth.
And now this is the second
L90
law
have all
agency,
Topanga stay out of
you know,
pursuit
taking part in
until
this. We had
unless
LAPD on this, and
requested
now
by
that
mission.
is CHP
Requested by mission.
trailing behind this this suspect.
And we don't know because we don't
Vehicles
have
in the
anybody
center
in
median,
our
continuing
helicopter, we don't know
southbound.
exactly which agencies are following from above, but we have seen multiple helicopters. Okay, here we go through another intersection.
Again.
Right turn. Okay, so that's the kind of maneuverability that I was talking about that this car will
Well,
have.
making a
that
westbound turn at
Dodge
Gardenia.
Caravan did not.
From Winnetka, ran through
this
red.
person clearly showing willingness to try pretty much. Look at the acceleration. I mean, that's the thing. You know, this person is
recklessly.
going to be able to get
And you can see
in a lot of trouble.
Yes, and on the right of your screen, you can see the Dodge Caravan that he was
For
driving.
westbound
how it slowed
Gardenia,
down because of
approaching
the
Mason.
damage from the spike strip, and him. He is running away towards that gas station, and this is where he sort of disappears from our view. And likely, you know, jumped into that other white vehicle, the sedan, and took off. You see him driving out of the gas station there.
That was an intense moment because you could see the officers were kind of, they weren't really pointing at anyone as if they had identified exactly who it was they were looking for. They knew he was there. And then all of a sudden, this car just nearly ran over two officers. And so therefore, they didn't really, I don't know if they saw him get in this vehicle.
Going out on
And by the
Valley
way,
Zero,
maybe he
and
just
he's in the
got in a car
left-hand
that
turn
somebody had left
pocket,
unattended while they
continuing
went inside
southbound.
to the
through
gas
Chase.
station. We don't know.
Oh,
But
picking up a
because we
little
couldn't
bit of
see him.
traffic
But
here.
clearly,
Okay,
he
through
nearly
Rockville.
assaulted an officer again with this vehicle trying to escape. So we do know CHP units are behind. This suspect is on Mason Avenue now in Winnetka. For a moment was on southbound Winnetka Avenue. So there are these wide roads that this person has been sticking to. For a moment, he was on the 118 freeway, but got off the freeway and now has, for the most part, been Porter Ranch, Northridge, Chatsworth. He's been back and forth through those areas. And look at that move again.
Yeah. And again, into oncoming traffic. And then, do we know if the Dodge Caravan was stolen? That is a
We don't know
question
because
haven't
remember
answered.
when this happened at
Verify that
Eyewitness News at
southbound
11,
chase
we
through
actually
Santa Fe?
did not see the chase. What we saw was the aftermath of the chase where the
Negative,
officers
we're
were
still
hurt. This is
southbound.
what we
Looks
saw
like
when Air
Mason
7XD
at
was over the
Satakoy.
scene in Burbank.
Vehicle
So
southbound
that is
Mason at
an accident
Satakoy.
that was caused
Air
as a result of this
Person Air
chase,
10 requesting
which now
westbound
has
unit
gone
to go
from a
code
Dodge
100.
Caravan, which was seemingly undamaged. So we don't know if the caravan actually hit
I'm gonna
either of these
be
officers
making
or that other
contact
person.
with him on
But
his
then we do
right-hand
know
side.
that the person got out of the caravan after it was disabled with a spike strip, jumped in this, it appears to be a
Can you advise
BMW,
the
and
CHP that
has
we're
been
pursuing this
trying to
guy?
get
He's
away from
wanted for
authorities.
two carjacking.
Again, look at this.
It's a
Into
felony
oncoming
suspect.
traffic. And here's the thing, CHP is right behind him. They had enough also in and out of traffic. They're, well, nope, they've pulled back
And
just a
we're
bit.
going to be continuing
Right
south.
there.
And advise the
There
CHP,
he is
please.
there.
The
Right
CHP,
there
please.
is
And I
the
got two
CHP.
units.
Now the guy's going
He just
up
went through
Van Allen
Satakoy. He
Street.
is the one. Right through that intersection, guys.
98, what?
Vehicle
He's going
continuing
60 to
southbound
100
at
miles an
Satakoy.
hour, down these surface streets. It's in the middle of the afternoon. Lots of people are on the road. I'm surprised that the roads are as open as they appear to be. But there's
Well, you know, and there is a concern
Down
when you're in
Mason
these
Terminal.
roads, to me anyway. It's summer and there are a lot of kids that are not in school. And they're going to be out and about. And, you know, hopefully they aren't, because this could end tragically if this person hits at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, clearly the acceleration, he is moving in and out of traffic very fast. He is
Oh, there you go.
on the freeway in the Dodge Caravan. He was at one point 115. So he's willing to drive at high rates of speed. And even on these surface streets, he has approach.
1990 is requesting a Civic unit to respond to Tampa and Rinaldi for the carjacking related to their pursuit. Code 3, do you have a unit at the station?
And then somebody comes blowing through like this.
Looks like we're in the left-hand turn pocket, one west of
Maybe he will be
Basin.
forced to stop.
Cross Avenue, he's
But
going
no,
to flip
again,
around and make a
oncoming
U-turn
traffic
back
making
for
a
eastbound
turn.
Chevrolet.
Lots of people crossing the street.
People making a U-turn.
That could have been a situation
Move
right
his
there.
way or get behind him or something, you guys.
Now he is on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, near Kittredge Street. Again, going against traffic. He is weaving.
Well, let's go to Bruce Thomas. He is one of our experts with law enforcement. And Bruce, this took a massive turn. I'm not sure if you were watching it, but when
Lance West demonstrating Corbin occurred 5 minutes ago. So if you're in metallic super with a hazard lights on, related to the pursuit incident 2401, incident 2552, correction code 2, incident 2552, NRD 1725.
Where he was at that moment. They knew in the general area where he was, and then all of a sudden they were nearly hit by this BMW that appears he stole from that gas station. What does that do to the dynamics of officers chasing this person?
Well, thanks, guys, and happy afternoon. This is our second crazy pursuit we've had today. This one just elevates into a different level. You have assault with a deadly weapon on police officers, assault with a deadly weapon on the other people driving in the area, and you have the carjacking, which is an
lost the vehicle.
So obviously this person does want to be captured by law enforcement. That's what they want. However, the issues that we're seeing are the speeds and the wanton disregard.
That's right. And Bruce, you are a law enforcement expert. What do you think the strategy is for officers on the ground right now?
You know, having been the watch commander in numerous pursuits and been in pursuits, I'd cancel it. I cannot endanger the public and cause an accident where someone gets hurt or killed. Not just my officers, but also the general public.
1797.
I mean, the suspect's going to do what he's going to do. We can't control that. But we are not going to facilitate him driving a 5,000-pound missile at the speeds he's driving.
It's interesting you say that because we've had pursuits recently canceled. We've started covering them, and then law enforcement has decided to stop pursuing.
Yeah, one of the things in a pursuit is the officers have to give me certain factors, speed, road conditions.
And the request came out for Tampa and Rinaldi. Verify that you're at Tampa and Porter Ranch, and that's the better location for the victim and the vehicle that was left.
That's Shepard Summit. I'm headed that way now.
Bruce,
Roger, Tampa, south of Rinaldi.
We've got a repeat of what had happened earlier. This suspect has now pulled back into another gas station. We see him there. He's jumped out. He is out of the car, walking around, and he is likely going to see if he can get another vehicle. Giovanna, it's possible. You were mentioning earlier, he might have gotten a car with an empty tank. And that could, so here we go. Now he is trying to get, he reached for something in his waistband. So I'm assuming, Bruce, and I don't know if you're seeing this in real time, he might be armed, and it looked as if he reached for his waistband. Maybe I'm wrong, but now he's going back to the original vehicle. He's waved off at someone. But that person right there did not open the door, was smart enough to just stay away. So, but now, Bruce, this is part of the problem of when you back off completely. This person has shown that he will carjack someone, just tried to do it again. If you don't, I understand the risk to the public. You very appropriately talk about that. Now, here we've got CHA coming, but you can't let this suspect who's shown a willingness to carjack people continue to go.
And they try to stop.
White wearing a black sweater.
You guys are both 100% correct on this. You can't let a fleeing felon flee.
A male white wearing a black sweater.
Here we go.
In the pursuit.
It's going off a sidewalk.
And back into traffic.
Can you see this, Bruce?
Yeah. No, this guy is not going to go to jail.
Origin at the gas station and possibly back in the white BMW for Topanga unit.
Probably going to have to pit him.
Pursuit's been cleared and possibly back in the BMW.
Take this guy into jail. And they're going to have to flood this area with law enforcement.
Wow.
Well, that's what we just saw just now. There's a person walking down the alley. He nearly ran over them. There's a worker in the street. Nearly ran over them. I mean, I say nearly. He was away from them. But a wrong step by anyone not expecting a 90-mile-an-hour vehicle coming by them could prove fatal. He's back into the turn lane again. We saw CHP, you talk about trying to make a pit maneuver in a place they don't want to.
Of a white,
it looked as if they
CHP
thought
vehicle
about it
behind
at a
the
gas
suspect
station.
vehicle.
And I can't imagine that is something they would ever willingly want to do. But it does show the dangerous nature of this suspect if they were willing to do that.
Yeah, and the fact that you're in the gas station, that just, there's so many
Ventura through
variables that can go
possibly
wrong
approaching
there.
the 101.
Do it there, but like you both said, you have to terminate this. This is just way too dangerous.
We lost the signal ever so briefly there.
And now we're looking at CHP, a CHP unit on his tail again. And I would say that this suspect just appears to be so bold.
Actually, this is video.
Vehicle eastbound Ventura from the 101 on
live. We're trying to correct our signal from Air 7 HD, but this is what we were looking at. Now we're back live. It can get confusing. Thank you for bearing with us. But the suspect now back live on Ventura Boulevard in Woodland Hills.
But back to my point that his behavior is so bold. It seems like he's very comfortable doing this, very comfortable going up to another car and trying to carjack. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think, and now see, look, again, driving through a construction zone, this is what
eastbound
is so
Ventura through
dangerous. And now
Fallbrook.
through uneven streets, it looks like they're repaving this area, so it's going to make it more difficult to control the car.
Absolutely, you guys.
But Bruce, I think we're still with Bruce. But to your point, Giovanna, this person clearly is very almost sociopath in the
back in the center divider. Side of the road, Arco gas.
Just casually walking up to someone with no real angst and just took the car. Here we go again. See, I think this
out of the vehicle at the Arco gas.
He is doing what he can to find another vehicle. And here we go again. So now this person has gotten into the van that was left open and is now going to possibly carjack another vehicle. So this is the third vehicle, second carjacking.
Now he's
Bruce,
out of that gas
legally,
station.
was that a
We're back
carjacking
to
or
the
was that just
Beaver, the
theft?
full-size
Because there was
white
nobody in the
Econoline
vehicle.
van,
So he
no
just got
windows,
in.
no
Well,
ladders.
we don't know.
We're going to
But
be
if there's
straight
no one in the
through that
vehicle, is that
intersection
considered
now.
carjacking or just
That's going to be shoot under the freeway. We're coming up on Topanga. Vehicles eastbound Ventura through passing shoot now in a white Econo van.
Doesn't even file those. So what we're seeing is a guy driving, stealing vehicles, and they don't even charge him with that. They charge him with taking a vehicle without the owner's consent. The interesting thing about this pursuit, it's on the exact same roadway as the earlier one.
It almost looked as if a couple of those gas stations were the same. Now, I think from looking at Air 7 HD, looking at some gas stations, they all
now, and
be
I've got 3 black and
similar.
white behind
But
it.
with the way
Incident
this
commander, are
person
we
has been
engaging? We are
driving
back in
a cargo
pursuit.
van like this,
Units on all frequencies,
that is
stand
going
by.
to be a vehicle that could turn over
White
very
Chevrolet
easily. And now
Express
we're
van.
seeing
On all frequencies, stand by. Air 10 in pursuit.
there. And Dunny,
Bruce, you mentioned this is the second pursuit of the day. Do you mean the one in Burbank where the LAPD
Now again,
officers
going underneath the freeway. Looks like you're getting on the 101. Eastbound from Topanga, and I have 3 units with it, and obviously the CHP let us know as well.
This is probably one of the dangerous pursuits we've seen. You're dealing with a high.
All units on all frequency, unknown unit in pursuit, eastbound 101 freeway from Topanga, of a code 37 vehicle, white Chevrolet, full-size van. License 91922, Union 2, 91922, Union 2, request backup area and supervisor.
Person, when they lost control of the vehicle, just, resigned themselves. No one was even hurt in that chase, which was great news. This person is now weaved across 3 lanes of traffic, high rate of speed, coming up on a motorcycle in a van. And now
eastbound 101 freeway at DeSoto, far right shoulder.
In a vehicle that's going to potentially be top heavy. And this person started out in a Dodge Caravan. That one was involved in an accident that hurt 2 LAPD officers and another driver that was just there. And then after that, they picked up that Dodge Caravan about 2 hours later, and that vehicle pulled into a gas station, stole a BMW, which apparently, from our look at it, maybe didn't have gas, because he almost immediately went looking for another vehicle, and that's how he got into this vehicle, which has shown aggressive driving again, willing to go over curbs and into traffic and just do anything to try to elude authorities.
Hey, Philip,
Vehicles back on the 101 freeway westbound from DeSoto.
If law enforcement's engaged.
Yeah,
in
they're
this
doing that
pursuit.
now. It
Okay,
looks like
thank
they
you.
are. It looks like they are. I think I saw some black and whites.
We did see
Getting on the
LAPD on
freeway.
the surface streets there a moment ago.
There
but
they are. They're right. They're behind. It's hard to see through the trees, but there's some black and whites, or at least one.
Vehicles westbound 101 freeway, far right lane approaching Topanga.
He's over in the Woodland Hills area.
For number 2 lane.
And he's westbound on the Ventura Freeway now.
A5 is primary.
101 North. And he is,
Yes.
yeah, and he is, again, so CHP is going to mostly be doing the 101, right?
Yeah, CHP will handle all the freeway, but in this case, I don't think LAPD is going to hand off. They have
That way.
other officers injured.
Yeah, it looks
They
like we're
want
going to
this
be
guy.
5
They will
sheep coming up on
probably
Woodlake.
stay with this
So
unless
still
it heads
on approaching
really
Woodlake.
north up to, the Ventura County area.
But we see one of their airships right there.
Yeah. So to
1940, be advised, there's 3 DSP units close to the pursuit. We're going to relinquish to them.
Were injured. That might be off the table.
Yeah, at this point, they want this guy. They want to take him into custody. Obviously, they don't want anybody else injured in this, suspect, victims, officers. But, yeah, they're going to want this. Also, as 07HE just showed, the gas tank cap
Vehicles back in the number 4 lane.
So it looked like someone was
Westbound
putting
101.
gas in this vehicle.
It looks like we're by Fallbrook.
Which makes sense at a gas station.
Westbound 101 freeway at Fallbrook.
But it's also, I mean, clearly he has shown that he will do whatever he has to do to get another vehicle, even when one gets disabled. Because again, the spike strip that they threw down was perfect. It deflated both the front driver's side and
Vehicle
rear
still westbound
driver's
101
side,
freeway at Valley Circle, speeding off the freeway.
and disabled it very quickly. So he was going to be, there it is, he was going to be in custody very quickly, except because they had been giving him room and kind of were in a surveillance mode, they weren't right on top of it when he pulled in that gas
Corbin
station.
Code 2, incident 2552, 91725.
Into that BMW.
And Philip, you and I had the benefit of seeing what he looked like. They didn't. They were just following in their vehicle, so I don't know that.
17X36, did you receive?
Well, and you couldn't know who you were looking
Freeway
for
through
necessarily
Valley
because they were in more of a tracking mode and they were pulled back, and you don't know which car he's in. There were multiple cars under that overhang at the gas station. So when I say they didn't know which one he was, they couldn't be seen. No one could be seen because he was in the car. And he nearly ran over an officer as he was trying to escape that gas station. But here we go.
17X36, 17X36, come in.
But this time in a cargo van. And that's just so passing on the shoulder here on the freeway, just incredibly dangerous.
And we don't know the condition of that particular cargo van. We don't know if it's, he's going 100 miles an hour. That is just reckless.
It's going into District County, well, not quite yet, but anyway, still westbound 1. And it looks like Calabasas Road is the one that's moving now. It's the 2, and can you advise Lockville Sheriff, please? Vehicle still westbound 101 freeway, passing Calabasas Road in the number 2 lane.
Obviously that ends, but then that may be coming to a barricade.
Well, and you don't know what's in the vehicle. I mean,
And
if he's
San Fernando and
carrying,
Desmond.
a lot
On
of weight in the
Desmond
back,
towards San Fernando,
you're not
suspect
going
male
to
Hispanic,
pit maneuver.
20s,
If
white
it's
shirt,
empty,
blue
it
pants,
might
black
be even
shoes,
easier.
walking with gun in hand
that's the
now and put it in
variables
his
that
front
continue to be a
waistband is
problem.
code 2, incident 2612, RE1622.
Westbound 101 approaching Lost Virgin.
So unpredictable. Yes, we train for them, and we look to monitor, and we do pursuit debriefings, but no pursuits are the same.
He just hit a car on the freeway.
Yes, he sure did.
At about 70 miles an hour, so that is going to be a shock for that person, and they'll be wondering what's going on. And that was
across the freeway,
this
in
is
and
not
out
the
of lane.
BMW. I mean, that van is not going to be as
Suspect still westbound, the 101 freeway approaching Lost Virgin is
very close to those
in
other
a
vehicles.
3 and 4
And
lane.
Bruce, I just have a question. So the officers who came on the scene before he took this vehicle, this van, is one of the
traffic
questions
21A42, 21A42, ambulance traffic, 5601, DeSoto Avenue, 5601, DeSoto Avenue, code 3, incident 2581, RD 2177.
Great question. You want to gather as much information as you can. Where is the vehicle registered? Okay, what is in the vehicle? Like you said, how much gas was in the vehicle? You were filling up. Was it on empty? What kind of and then they can go back and refill in the
Sorry, Unit Element Handle, turned out code 2, ma'am, this unit already turned out to identify.
It takes 22 gallons, the guy said there was only a gallon in it. So
116 to 81, are you clear from violence?
So yeah, those are all
Give me that frequency.
Breaking news coverage here on Eyewitness News. We've interrupted your programming, and we want to thank you for being with us. But this is a dangerous pursuit that again began at about 11:30 for us as far as coverage. We did see the result of an accident
through Liberty Canyon on the westbound 101 freeway.
And it involved an LAPD officer and another car. But you're watching breaking news coverage. We're going to interrupt General Hospital. We're going to continue on this because this suspect is responsible for the injury of at least 3 people. And we've watched as this person has hit a person on the freeway, carjacked or stolen a BMW, stole this van. So as Bruce Thomas has mentioned, this person is a high-value arrest now because of the damage this person has caused as a result of trying to get away from authorities.
Right. And
Solo Trouble 4883 Topanga Canyon, 4883 Topanga Canyon, code 3 incident 2631 RD 2185 Topanga in the town identified.
The right
1940 Roger, mission should be out of pursuit. CHB is primary.
Stated on Desmond going towards San Fernando. Unit available for the code 3 calling RD 2185 identify. In meeting with the victim of this
Yes, we are
11
we're telling everyone that right now we have
unit broadcast, you're unreadable.
General Hospital. We will air it in its entirety at a later moment. We'll get that the information to you as we can. But we're coming up on the 2 o'clock hour, and just wanted to let everybody know the reason we are with this is because of the dangerous nature of this suspect and the impact to the community here as he is traveling on the 101 north. I think it was approaching Canaan. So moving along pretty quickly, but this person has really shown some disregard for the safety of anyone in his actions behind the wheel of a vehicle, and it's been 3 vehicles now.
Right, and I lost count. Was it 3 gas stations that he pulled into?
Well, this one right here was the last.
One where he
was one. No, this is the one on the right.
Follow unit 415 flight, unit airline, call 35 suspects, male and female, physics flight and location, code 2 incident 262 minority 1524.
He drove around in that Shell station, and we were wondering. You asked if he was going to get gas, and that was a perfect look because I thought he was just looking to see where officers were, but apparently he might have been looking for cars at that point. But he was probably running out of gas in the Caravan because at 11:30 is when the accident happened in Burbank. We didn't see this person for 2 hours until at about 1:30 we picked up this chase. So if he was driving around all that time, it's reasonable to assume that he needed gas in that Dodge Caravan.
And there's still a lot of questions that we don't have answers to. You saw the vehicle a moment ago that was involved in that crash in Burbank. He may have been driving that car. We don't have clarification on that. But then they said he sped away.
In Burbank, Caravan was not injured or not damaged, but an LAPD officer and a second vehicle were.
Got it.
The Dodge Caravan continued to drive. Disabled due to the spike strips, and that's when the suspect did theft.
Any in the vicinity fire departments passing back up 10725 Emery Park, 10725 Emery Park, code 3 incident 2610 RD 1945.
Run into somebody on the freeway at about 70 miles an hour.
That's right. And he continues to drive. Well, now he's at 100 miles an hour, and he is still on the northbound 101 near the Lindero Canyon Road exit in the Agoura Hills area. And 100 miles an hour in this van is not conducive to safe driving.
You're not able to handle a timed out 10-449 suspect there now, RD 2129 identified.
To me, it's almost as if you can breathe as a law enforcement agent because he stayed on the freeway for a moment. He's driving north up near Agoura Hills. I'm not saying that you're away from everything, but you are starting from maybe some of the heaviest traffic. Do you get a chance now to kind of regroup as law enforcement? Or now they're right behind him, so it's not as if they're stopping the chase, but do you like where this is more than before?
2129, 2129, do you need L40 to continue the response to your call on Orion?
Meaning it's not a heavy traffic freeway right now. He's heading out of
One L40, you can count to yourself.
Heading into Agoura Hills, Indian Hills area. Traffic's less as you head toward the beach communities. And you're not going to outrun the radio. So there's another CHP station with other officers ahead, and they'll transition into that.
Incident 1177 back on our screen.
Someone actually in the freeway, I do take a deep sigh of relief.
Yeah, because there were so many things happening from the near assault on officers to the potential carjacking or grand theft of 2 different people, driving into the turn lanes and oncoming traffic on side streets at 100 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour.
Roger, it is on your screen now.
7 clocked it at 125 miles an hour at one point. That was on the freeway, however. But it just seems as if the freeways are built for the higher speeds that this person has been willing to drive, as opposed to Tampa, Rinaldi, some of the roads that this person was on. Those roads are not, they're built for 45 to 50. They're not built for 95 to 100.
No, you're 100% correct, Philip. And the fact that
North Hollywood Unit 10 Hospital, the time down 44 just occurred, 12531 Chandler Boulevard, Hutchinson 2438, already 1531, and the 415 Laurel Canyon and Irwin, Hutchinson and 2027, already 1524. Now at time 459, suspect there now 19957 Lauren, code 2, incident 2557, already 2129. Before we went outside the division, identify.
That we believe
Nicole, Hutchinson 2643, 267.
Sort of farther out.
I'm going to go with that and say yes. That's an assumption on my part, but I think that's a good call on your part also, bringing that to the attention of the viewers.
SL 97.
I do think in this vehicle, it doesn't have a full gas tank. As their 7HD pulls in on the left side, you can see the gas cap out. So how much gas is in that vehicle? Hopefully the driver was able to tell.
Chanel 20, are you clear?
Well, and now you see again, he's getting off the freeway at Moore Park Road, so we can see that he's off Moore Park Road, on Moore Park Road, off the Ventura Freeway. Again, the thing that you keep coming back to is he goes across 4 or 5 lanes of traffic with total disregard. You can just see him barely through the trees at that intersection. So it looked as if he was in the right lane, and now it looks as if he's turning left under the freeway. Oh, nope, there he is.
240 here, your street. Suspect number 1 is a male, Hispanic, 20 years, wearing shorts, no weapons. Suspect number 2 is a male, white, 50 to 60 years, wearing a gray shirt and shorts. Suspect number 3 is a female, 20 years, wearing a black shirt, black shorts. Associate each other at location. Additional incident 2643, 1767.
Drive his vehicle into this van.
2142,
they're still leaving him room to back up if he wanted to, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't.
Can you demonstrate a code 30 ringer 11801 Darby Avenue at the residence incident 2656 30 1714.
Tactic by CHP. It's not
ABC 250 RD 1535.
So for them to do this, I'm done with this individual.
Yeah, and he is his arms are out the window. I don't know if you can see that, Bruce. It looks like he's attempting to signal that he wants to surrender.
He's trying to open the door.
Do you have a radio call at 21246 Mulholland
And the fact that
Highway?
CHP was very aggressive on this, we're not just following and playing anymore. You're going to jail, buddy.
No.
Yeah, and I think he knows it, and he is following their instructions. He has laid down on the ground, arms wide. It appears
2146, no, 21 slow, 97, 21 SL 97. Come in.
Thankfully, no one else was hurt.
Well, now they'll have to clear that van, yes?
For the senior further, we could handle this PC by info.
Now is going to be the hours and mountains of paperwork that this guy just generated. And hopefully the officers are not hurt, as are any individuals.
Okay, so we see the handcuffs going on.
17X36, which incident, which pursuit is it going to be
and I don't see
attached to?
less than lethal weapons
Maybe the mission
trained on this person. It does look to me
and I'm referring to incident
very
2552 for
serious
the
that they thought this person posed a risk.
21 SL 97, 21 SL 97, come in.
To see if he was indeed armed. I did not see them pull any weapons from there. But remember, when he went up to that one vehicle, I saw him reach for his waistband, and it was, quite frankly,
17X36 requesting a Valley Traffic Unit for a TC by influence for mission pursuit, incident 2552.
Him into custody. They had to think that he might be armed, yes?
Yes. You know, Philip, to just something to point out as we watched them walk the suspect from the van where he laid down on the street. Very cavalier attitude, very, okay.
21 Crow, 20, code 6 with SL 97 at 22455.
Ventura at the Arco. You see there's a
he does.
mission unit's going to respond here, recover this stolen vehicle.
And that is,
I mean, he's not.
2610, already 1940 South identified.
You caught me.
Watch 2, come in.
Because ultimately,
21,
it becomes
standby.
political, and I don't want to get on a soapbox, but nothing will be done to this individual.
Even though there were multiple grand thefts, it all counts as the same misdemeanor?
Okay, Airtime, go ahead.
Yeah, they'll plea bargain it down to a misdemeanor, maybe credit for time served. We're not going to put anybody in county jail for more than a year or state prison for this. Now, depending on his record, and I'm not sure if the three strikes law even applies anymore.
Well, but remember, he did injure 2 officers.
I was just going to say, there was...
You're right. And you have assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, which is an egregious felony. Yes. You're 100% right.
Raj,
right.
that
Bruce
suspect
Thomas,
is in
thanks so
custody
much for
or
sharing your
parked
expertise.
at
Thank you.
the 101 freeway
Since it's
for
just now
the
2:07, we are
carjacking
going to
that
quickly
occurred
wrap this
at the
up
gas
and get you
station
back to
in their
General Hospital.
division.
This
I
has
don't
been
know how
breaking
many.
news coverage of a chase
Is anybody
involving a
going to want to
suspect
be
that
able to
was
show up?
also
How do
involved
they
in
want
an
to work
accident that
this?
injured 2
And I
LAPD
believe
officers at about 11:30 this afternoon.
the
He
chippies
took
have
2 other
it,
cars
so
during this chase, but now is in
I don't have
custody.
any phone
We'll
numbers or
take
anything
you
like
back
that. Let
to
me know how
regular
you want to work
program.
this.
963's code 3 from Raymond's, Pulverton to 10725 Memory Park Avenue in Mission.
I have 2 units that are code 6 at the gas station. We're attempting to verify if we'll have a mission unit respond standby.
up to help each other.
Here if they need to make contact or do anything else.
415 man, 13136 Victory Boulevard, code 272676, RD 939.
455 Ventura Boulevard.
Road Harvest
I'm going to be at the
Food
Arco
Bank
gas
is
station.
donations and is open 6 days a week, only closed on Sundays.
I never knew that places like this exist. So, it was first time in life for everyone.
17XL 64 now.
His help.
Alex Cheney, ABC 7
10 Williams
Eyewitness
50. If you
News.
don't show me clear from Sherman.
And stay with Eyewitness News
I'm
for
63,
continuing
so
coverage
click on
of
my
the
screen.
actors and writers strike.
17XL
You can
64
also get
equipment
updates
mission
anytime
unit
on the ABC 7 Los Angeles
19045.
and at
Brasilia Drive for an open door.
As we continue here at 11 a.m., a strike deadline is looming for UPS workers as well.
963
This
canceled,
morning, they were
2610 mission will
rallying for
handle.
support.
Our Jay Patel has their story coming up. Plus, in the wrong place at the wrong time, a man has been killed after stopping to buy something at a liquor store.
And a frightening home invasion in the Hollywood